Hey guys, this is Sistas Season 5, Episode 13, Feeling the Heart. So, let me see what happened on let's see what happened on the last episode. Okay, we got to see Maurice signing, we got to see the lawyer making Maurice sign the paper, and he didn't sign it. I'm glad he didn't sign it, because why the hell he was around his best friend Sabrina, and he basically told him to leave him alone, leave me alone and stuff like that. Cause Maurice is not gonna sign the paper. We already know he's not. And the fact that we see Fatima and Andy, because Fatima told Andy that her and Zach is engaged, and it seemed like Andy seems so happy, but I feel like Andy's skeptical, just like Fatima's skeptical. I don't get that part. So that conversation lead to, when they had to go for a walk, because she says she need to get out of these hills so she can go home and see her man Zach. And of course it left off with Danny, talking to Q. You remember he was asking her for drinks, and she said, "I'm not gonna buy it, you'll buy it." I don't know why she thinks she trusts Q. He's not a good person. He's trying to play the victim card. And then we see Calvin talking to Maurice, and Maurice wanted to know, did Sabrina get him up? And Calvin said, no, that's not the case. And we know that Sabrina's not going to get Maurice up. We did see Calvin talking, having a conversation. That's what he was in the last episode. And of course, Maurice wanted to make sure she knows something's not adding up, for sure. He would never get Sabrina up. This way Sabrina would never get him up. I'm just surprised, See him in jail. And that's how that left that conversation. That's when we see Annie and Karen pulling up to Zach's house. Because you remember Zach, that's Fatima getting home. And of course, he was Zach came outside, let her in, told her that he got a surprise for her, and he made her dinner. Bought the wine from the gas station, which he could have went to, the ABC's drugstore if he wanted to. Surprised he didn't go there. But he brought her some, and Zach think that Fatima don't like it. But, it was just taking her in, That's where it was, and that's when he didn't want to call Karen and Haley Jenny right now. He wanted to eat dinner first, but Fatima wanted Zach to get this out the way. And when he does, that's how they left out that conversation. That's when they're going to sit down so they can, talk. Then we see Sabrina and Karen. Sabrina was just getting her dreadlocks back, getting her hair done. And I know Pam keeps saying that she likes her natural hair better. Sabrina does too, but she just don't want to show her natural hair. She just want to wear the dreadlocks. And of course, she said she's going to go home so she can get changed. And of course, Calvin came to the door. He knocked. And, Pam always knows it. That's what Karen told Pam to go in the back and do some work. She did. And that's what Zach called, Karen, saying that we need to talk so we can get this out the way. He should have called Haley Jenny first, but it's good that he called Karen. And, conversation didn't go too bad. And, he was just trying to smooth things out. And, of course, after her and Zach got off the phone, Zach called Andy called Karen. Karen called Andy and saying that she's going to meet up with Fatima and Zach, because she don't want Zach to do this by himself. And Andy said, I'm going to come. And we already know that the fact that Karen and Fatima is going to have a standoff, I feel like that's what's going to happen. And, of course, Fatima told him not to come. Karen said, you don't have to come. And that's when we see, that's what Zach don't want this to happen. He didn't want to do this right now, but he got to. Now, we know he's going to open up the paper and he's going to read it next week right in front of Fatima. I don't get why they doing this to this dude when he trying to build himself back up. And he still is. We see Q and Danny having the drinks. And we could tell he likes Danny, but I feel like I don't think Danny likes him like that. Because Danny's still trying to figure out what she want still. And when she was about to leave, Q want to make a call. I don't think she's going to call Q again. Call Q. That's when we leave off to Hayden. Finally got to see what he's up to. Seeing Hayden and Melanie, I forgot her name. But they were having a good conversation. She basically saying that she gotta go. And then she invite him over for dinner or drinks at her place. And now she's gonna take everything from Hayden. But I don't know how this gonna work. I had a bad feeling it might blow up in Fatima's face. But let's hope that'll be the case. But we'll see how that goes. And at the fact that they had talking and she called Fatima, you know what I'm saying, after she taking out Hayden, they left. That's when we see President Danny having a conversation because now the neighbor, aka her landlord, just find out that Danny was in abuse. Then why the hell she didn't call the police? If that's the case, she heard some commotion and all the yelling and screaming. You could have called the police. But she was just nosy. Maybe they don't do cops. I'm guessing the neighbors have to be black. I don't know. I don't want to presume, but... And the crazy that Danny did say that's not a big deal. Oh, yes, sweetie, it is a big deal. You ran the guy... No, I wouldn't say you ran. You crashed into this dude while he was in the car. Could have killed the guy. President knows it's a big deal. But why they keep saying they ran him over? He wasn't on foot. He was in the car. Tyler Perry, what you doing? You gotta get this right, brother. Oh, man, that's crazy. And President want to talk about it. And he respect Danny saying that we'll talk about this later. Because I'm sure they're going to talk about it later. And the fact, because Danny going to meet the girls. They're going to be at Andy's house at the, at the Karen and Andy come for Zach's house. It's a good thing they got that out the way first. But next week, we see Andy. We see Karen going in on Andy. I'm like, you thought... Karen thought it wasn't going to bother her. We knew it. I see right through her. She think that didn't bother her. She's still upset. She still feels some type of way. She just can't help herself. But yeah, that's when they, she went to go take a shower. We see Sabrina and Calvin talking and tell her what Maurice said, and especially saying that he think that you rat him out. Sabrina said, didn't do anything. And, we know Sabrina, wouldn't do that, just like Maurice wouldn't do it. And Calvin really told Maurice not to do it, not to sign that paper. What is wrong with that lawyer? He need to be held account. And then we got Bio showing up. He did say he called Sabrina. I do believe him. He did call Sabrina, does that time, but he had no idea that Sabrina was locked up. And Calvin said, don't you see me right here? Because remember, he's still upset that he interrupted their date. But they just cordial. I'm not saying they together. Hopefully they stay friends, because I do start to like their friendship. It's best that her and Calvin stay friends. I don't want them back together. I don't care if she be with Bio, but I think that Sabrina still need time for herself. It did disrupt her. I don't get why we never see her locked up. We see Maurice in jail. Well, why you don't see Sabrina? But we did see her in the orange jumpsuit, though. And, of course, Sabrina wanted to go change, and she told Calvin, you can stay so we could talk some more. And Calvin said he's going to talk some more. Let's just hope it just be a conversation. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, then after that, we see Fatima on the phone with the girl. I forgot her name. And, she relaxing, telling her what she's going to do to Hayden. Fatima said, I don't need all that detail, but that's what's going on. The fact is, that's when she got off the phone with her, and that's when they end the episode when they're gonna meet Karen and Annie did show up together because she want to make sure it won't be no drama. And Annie apparently they